Chelsea Football Club wants to be on high alert, according to the fans, because Thomas Tuchel has got sacked from Bayern Munich. Well, in June at least. I'm going to break down the story and the ramifications for Chelsea Football Club if they want him back, because there's a big section of fans that do. Then we found out there's a release clause in De Zerbi's contract. I'm going to give you the value and I'm going to explain to you why. The likelihood is De Zerbi might be Pochettino's replacement. I'm going to give you who my replacement for Mauricio Pochettino would be in the summer, because the way the season has been going at the moment, look, the reality is the owners are going to get rid of him in the summer. When that end of year review comes up, they're going to tell him, you haven't been good enough at this moment in time. And my replacement would be the Sporting Lisbon manager, Ruben Amorim. I'm going to explain to you his playing style and, more importantly, how Chelsea could get him out of his contract, because there's a massive release clause worth 30 million euros. And finally, the big story, right? We've got a kid in the Championship that is absolutely smashing. Hutchinson at Ipswich Town scored an absolute beauty. Last minute, you would think he'd run and take his top off, he'd be going crazy. Nah, the man bopped off like, it's my job, I do my job. And more importantly, I need to thank a lot of you yesterday. Yesterday, in the middle of my video, I started having some technical difficulties with my mic. The issues have been resolved. So thank you for the patience, thank you for flagging it. A lot of you flagged it, and you know what, I appreciate that because it shows you care. And finally, hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes on this video. Number 2, subscribe. I need 30 new subscribers on this video, so please be one of the 30. And finally, let me know where you guys are watching from, because I love seeing people from all around the world and the Brits that are watching, enjoying the content. Up the Chelsea, let's get into it. A big Tommy Tuchel has been relieved of his duties in June from Bayern Munich, and Chelsea Football Club and the fans are in shock, right? Because the reality is, we all love Thomas. At least everyone that I know that supports Chelsea absolutely loves the ground that this man walks on. He came in, took over from Frank Lampard, where we were expected to be horrible. Not only did we finish top 4, we also won the Champions League, got to the FA Cup final, and lost to Leicester in a narrow loss. However, since then, we finished 3rd with Thomas Tuchel, won the Club World Cup, Super Cup. Todd Bowley and the crew came in and they fell out. It's public, right? Bowley wanted a more collaborative team where the manager has regular discussions with the board of directors as well as the recruitment team about players that we sign. And the difference there was that Bowley and the team wanted to go for younger players and invest more into the future, but at the same time winning in the present. Tuchel wanted win now, and that's the most important thing. That's the type of manager he is. Yet, he's gone to Bayern Munich, won the league, lost in the Pokal 2 years in a row, and this season hasn't gone as planned. Whilst he's having the 6th greatest season in Bundesliga history, he's somehow 8 points behind Bayer Leverkusen and Alonso. Maybe it's time we give Alonso some praise, but no, Tuchel needs to get bashed, and it looks like he's going to be losing his job. Well, not looks like, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it. He's going to lose his job. So this has raised the question to a lot of Chelsea fans. Do we take Thomas Tuchel back? Do we bring back Thomas Tuchelinho to be the new Chelsea manager in the summer if Mauricio Pochettino is relieved of his duties? Personally, and these are my thoughts, I don't think this is a good idea. Guys, never go back. Because the reality is, if they broke your heart once, they're going to do it again. And Todd Bowley and co had no problem breaking his heart. They literally told him, listen, you spent 300 million, hold that, get out of our club. We don't care. That's what they said to him. Tuchel needs to avoid this Chelsea job under every circumstance. This job does not fit the way he wants to work. What Tuchel wants is buy me players to win this season and next. And then we'll worry about the season after that, next season. And the reality is, Chelsea don't operate like that anymore. We've lost our desire, our hunger, our drive to go and pick up trophies this season. Everything's done in a methodical way, as if, well, that's what they want to tell us. Everything is done with an organization and a thought process. Everything's done from one manner. We need to buy this player now. He will develop into this, and then we'll sell him on. In the meantime, if we win some trophies, fantastic. Tuchel, don't come. There are so many jobs available in the summer. Potentially Manchester United, Liverpool, Barcelona will be available. Bayer Leverkusen could be available. AC Milan could be available. There are going to be so many jobs that he's going to have a pick of, because he's still a world-class manager. I'm not having it any other way. 2 individuals that I think would be very suited to the Chelsea role, but both are very controversial due to the fact that they're young. And that is the problem, right? Fans expect big names. Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, Thomas Tuchel, Carlo Ancelotti, all the big names. However, those big names, in my opinion, are either past their sell-by date, where at this moment in time, they are not going to be of the certain standard that Chelsea require, Antonio Conte, or they won't look at Chelsea. Carlo Ancelotti won't look at us. Zidane won't look at us. I don't think Jose Mourinho would even look at us at this moment in time. And even then, I don't think Jose is the right fit for the club. So Chelsea have to go for the next manager up. We need to go and find the next guy. Next guy. So I personally think these three managers are big names, right, that we should be going after. De Zerbi from Brighton, Ruben Amorim from Sporting, and Alonso. Alonso is self-explanatory, right? We're seeing what he's doing at Bayer Leverkusen. I think if we're ever going to risk it, it's now. Jump the bullet, try get him. You can't. So be it. I think we're going to get priced out of that one. I think Liverpool available, Bayern Munich available, and a Real Madrid available in the summer potentially. It's mad. We're not going to get this guy. The reality is, De Zerbi's got a release clause. The release clause is 13 million euros. 13 million euros is nothing for Chelsea Football Club to pay to Brighton, because we've already paid them 200. Look, like we covered in yesterday's video, Chelsea have got the head recruiter and Paul Winstanley, who are both ex-Brighton workers. We've also got a bunch of goalkeeping coaches that worked at Brighton. We've got a bunch of individuals in the club that have either played for Brighton or worked for Brighton in the past 18 months. 11 individuals hijacked from Brighton. So would it shock you if this ownership group all of a sudden went and got De Zerbi, the individuals that were responsible to go get him to Brighton? No, it wouldn't be. 13 million pounds is nothing, and this is the new buyout clause for the managers. What would De Zerbi bring? Well, De Zerbi would bring bravery. That's one thing he definitely would. De Zerbi would play kids. Ian Maatsen would be a Chelsea footballer at this moment in time if De Zerbi was still here. You would have Levi Colwill all season at centre-back. You'd have Axel Disasi playing at centre-back, or maybe Badiashile. And you would have Malo Gusto at right-back, definitely. You'd have Enzo and Caicedo pivot. You would have Nkunku playing in the 10 role, or Palmer playing in the 10 role. Sterling going absolutely berserk. And Mudryk playing with Noni in the system that De Zerbi loves. It is quick-witted, passing, ingenuity, and it's entertaining. That's something that I love about his system. Whether it's winning football, whether you can be successful to the nth degree like we want to be, I don't know. I'm not convinced by this man, all right? I think he's a great manager. I think he'll implement culture. I think he'll implement a system. I think he'll implement fundamentals that will just make players so much better. But whether we will win, I'm not sure, because let's look at it honestly. We whooped Brighton twice this year. Yes, Brighton had high possession against us. Yes, Brighton created a lot of chances against us. And yes, in the second game, it took them being down to 10 men. First game in the Carling Cup, we were the better team. Second game, we were the better team because we even scored with 10 men. So we need to be open and honest with De Zerbi. Do I think he's an upgrade on Pochettino? That is a difficult question, because I think Pochettino is a very good tactician, and I think Pochettino's cowardice holds him back at times. I don't think Pochettino is brave. I don't think he wants to make the difficult decision. De Zerbi, on the other hand, these decisions will be made. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt in my corazón, in my heart, in my cerza, that these decisions will be made. So we need to trust him if this is going to happen. My favorite guy, though, has to be Ruben Amorim, the Portuguese manager that is at Sporting Lisbon. If you haven't watched Sporting play, go and watch him play. They play beautiful football at its finest. They play three at the back, right? So they're defensively very solid. They play two midfielders in front of them that are always demanding for the ball and building attacks. They've got two wing backs that are consistently bombing forward, and the front three isolate the press and press as a unit, and everyone compresses in. They have a very high line. He is brave, plays youngsters on a regular basis, part of his job remit there, but at the same time, he values experience. The ball is shifted through central areas, but the wing backs assist by giving alternative options out wide, and more importantly, when one wing back has it, the other one's pelting his ass off into the near post, far post, to make sure he's there as a support role. So they always crash the box dearly. This year, he has been doing very well. They're first in the Portuguese league, considering they have the third biggest budget. They're in the Europa League. They look set to qualify into the last 16. And they're in the Cup in the semi-final against Benfica in a two-legged affair. A lot of you are going to say, why do you trust him? He's just another AVB. No, he's not. Because something called body of work. If you understand that term, you will know what I mean. If you don't, I'll explain. When you look at a manager, I don't like to look at 1 or 2 years. And this is why I am so hesitant with Alonso. I think he's a great manager at the moment because we've only seen 18 months of him. But that's what we've seen. With Ruben Amorim, we've seen more. We saw him at Braga with the 13, 14 games he had that earned him the job to go to Sporting. Then we saw 4 years. This is the 4th year. With the first year, won the league. Second year, I think he finished top 3. The year after, he won a cup. Overall, he's won a league, 2 cups. Now, he's on track to potentially doing the treble. He's got a 70% win rate. 70% win rate. What does that tell you? It tells you he's in a culture where it's expected to win on a regular basis. None of this 50%, none of this 55%. They're scoring way more goals than they're playing games. They are defending to a very high caliber where they're conceding less goals than they're playing in matches. And a lot of you are going to say, Alex, this is expected. It's not expected because look at Chelsea's record in the last 18, 24 months. This has not been happening here. We are lucky to win 1 and 2. This manager's winning 2 and 3 on a regular basis, if not more. It's a 70% win rate, so it's a higher ratio. So we need to understand what level club we are. We need to get the next Mourinho. This is the next thing. We need to get the guy before he blows up. This is us getting him before he blows up. Brighton are looking at him already, and he's €30 million release clause. Chelsea will have to negotiate it. He wants to leave in the summer if they don't win anything because he feels like it's his duty to win stuff at Sporting. Sporting deserve a manager that wins stuff. We deserve a manager that wins stuff. Come Isu, come home. But it is what it is. These are my thoughts. Don't get offended. Don't get very angry. But it's what I think. The final story, Bratuhi, is about Omari Hutchinson. Omari Hutchinson is an individual that we acquired from Arsenal as a free agent. So he never signed a professional contract. He decided to go into the free agent market and Chelsea said, broski, Cobham loves you. Hell End ain't got nothing on us, all right? We will produce you to become the best footballer you can be. He came to Chelsea last year. He spent the year in a development squad. He got a few appearances. I even remember seeing him against Manchester City twice. And I said, this kid is not ready for Chelsea Football Club. Like, he's just too small. Manchester City's small-boyed him. And the reality is, it's Manchester City under Potter against us against under Potter. This was always going to happen. So what he needed to do was go away, rejuvenate his career in a sense, or kickstart his career really. And he went to the Championship. And he's playing for Ipswich Town. He's played 37 games. He started 14 of them. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists. This guy is both-footed. His ability to create and score goals and get assists is lovely to see. What I think is important for him now is to stay grounded. There are 3 routes that he can take this summer. And the 3 routes are evident, right? Number 1, he can go back to the Championship next year, regardless if Ipswich go up or not, and become a penultimate starter. Become one of the first names on the team sheet, earning the right to say, this is my team, we're going to get promoted. He will bulk up, get physically stronger, and he'll get to adapt to the men's game. Because he's still 19, remember that. Option 2, if Ipswich go up, go with Ipswich on loan and play for them next year, a bench role, or maybe even a starter role. But the likelihood is, get a Premier League loan. But we need to be careful with those, because we saw with Andre Santos, you can end up on the outskirts. Option 3, go abroad. And this is my pick. I think maybe a Germany, maybe France, maybe to Strasbourg if Angelo comes back. Maybe go out on loan to Spain, Italy, develop. Learn the tactical side of the game. I think this is the most important and imperative side that people don't listen. He has got all the raw attributes. He's quick, he's smart, he's got technique. He won't be successful at the men's level until he learns the tactical side of the game. Until he learns how to track back, how to be in position, how to learn the defensive end as a winger. Because this is modern day. Look at what's happening to Noni Madueke and Mikhailo. Neither one of them understand the game. And I'm sorry, Mudryk at this moment in time looks lost when he's on the pitch. And the only way he's going to improve is by playing. But he's not going to get minutes to play because this is Chelsea. Noni made a mistake and he's out the squad. I told you, he's still got 2 more weeks in Pochettino's prison. Pochettino will not be releasing him for 4 weeks. He sentenced him to 4 weeks on the bench. The reason he sentenced him for 4 weeks, because the goal that Palace scored was his fault. And Poch will not allow that to happen in his team. I'm telling you, Poch is defense first, attack later. Noni could score 5 goals, make 1 mistake, he'll be on the bench. Because Pochettino depends on the untangibles or intangibles, whatever the word is, purely based on the fact that you do not make defensive errors. But guys, this was the Kavkas View. I'm really excited to see what happens to Omar Hutchinson. I'm really excited to see what happens with Tommy Tuchel next. And more importantly, get Ruben Amorim to my club. You guys know where you heard it here first. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts, peeps. Peace out. I'm out. See you later. Adios, amigo.